What is your name and occupation?
My name is Bruce Thomas, and I'm an ER doctor here in Indiana.
How did you first hear about North American Spine?
Well, I ended up having back pain in September of '09, and it kept getting worse and worse and worse, and it was going down my leg and hurting a lot. In December of '09, I ended up having an MRI that showed, yes, indeed, despite my wishes, I did have a bulging disc. And you know, I'd heard a lot about people that, I'm an ER guy, and I see people with back pain all the time. I've seen lots of people that have had, bad outcomes with surgery, and I wanted, I want something conservative. So I started doing some internet research, and that's how I found out about North American Spine. Talked to them, interviewed them, and I felt pretty good about it.
What was your life like before coming to North American Spine?
Oh my goodness. My pain was not so bad if I just sat there and did nothing. But if I would just sneeze, it would send pain down my back and down my leg. If I coughed, it would hurt like crazy. There'd be times in the morning when I would get up and I'd think to myself, I'd be awake in bed and I'd think, oh, I don't have the pain, I'm so happy. But I know as soon as I stand up, it's gonna come on. And I think to myself, you know what, I think I'm just gonna stay in bed all day long today. But that would never work. You know why? I had to pee. You just had to get up. And then I'd get up and go to the bathroom. My heart would be racing like 120 times a minute just because it hurt so much just to do stuff like that. Yeah, I was able to struggle through life. Yes, I was fortunate enough that pain would subside just enough that I could get my job done without any heavy lifting, of course, in the ER. But there were days when it was really bad. Other days not so bad, but there were some days it was just awful.
What was your recovery like following your procedures with North American Spine, your physician?
I went down to Dallas and had the surgery with Ken Reed, and I was really impressed with him. I would say after that surgery, within about 2 days, my pain was about 70% gone. And if that was the best it ever got, I would have been happy. Of course, I'm greedy, and I wanted it completely all gone. I would say the pain stayed at about that level, about 70% gone, just kind of stayed at that level for about 2 months, 3 months, and it seemed to get a little better, a little better, a little better. I went back to taking a leave, which helped. Finally one day I said, I'm going to add Tylenol. Why am I trying to be a tough guy? Added Tylenol, and I'd say about 4 or 5 months out, completely pain-free. And that was about 1.5 years ago, and pain-free since then.
What would you like others to know about North American Spine?
You know what? I see people in the ER all the time with back pain, and I honestly, there are times when I just say to myself, I wish they could all go down and get this procedure done. For me, it was a completely win-neutral situation. Because they monitor your back and the nerves in your back during surgery with a dedicated neurology tech guy, there is really I see a very, 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 very little risk. I mean, they're not cutting through bones, they're not cutting through ligaments and tendons and very much tissue at all. It's a very safe procedure. It's like when you get an epidural steroid injection. You know how they snake a little catheter up there and they squirt it with steroids and pain medicine? Well, it's kind of like that to me. They do the same thing, only they snake a little laser beam up there and cut it off. So it's very low risk. That's how I viewed it. I viewed it as it might work, it might not, but it's not going to hurt me. And for me, it worked completely. So it was a win-neutral gamble, and for me, it was 100% success. So I think you should give it a shot.
What is your life like today? For example, are you now able to do things you loved prior to coming to North American Spine?
You know what? I used to go running before I went to North American Spine. And I would sometimes go 8 miles, and then I had to stop. Couldn't do that at all because I couldn't take the jarring and the pounding. Now I can go running I can go running down the treadmill or running around all I want. I couldn't lift more than like about 10 pounds, something like that. I could, but if I did, I'd pay for it. Now, carting around the 44-pound bag of dog food, no trouble. The only trouble is just I'm a skinny guy, but the back is certainly not getting in my way at all. I remember when my back was acting up, my kids used to like a television show called Wipeout, and it was lots of fun. On the show, people would get up and they'd jump on these big bouncy balls and they'd run across trampolines and jump here and jump there, and they get hit and they fall into the water, and they thought it was loads of fun. I would see that and I would just cringe, because I would imagine how much it would hurt if I was that guy. I mean, just to have a little jar to sneeze, or to jump up and down, or to cough would have hurt my back. To imagine doing that, it was torture just watching those guys. But now that it's all better, I feel like, you know what? I could go on that show. Now I'd lose. I wouldn't win because I'm not athletic at all. But I could go on that show and I wouldn't hurt. You know what? This deck we got here, it's just about 6 feet off the ground. I could jump off that. I don't think it would bother me. Here goes. No pain at all.